I went to go see The Good Dinosaur, I wasn't expecting this movie to be very good from all the criticism that I've been hearing about the movie. But when I did buy that cheap $2 ticket and walked into that cheap theater, I came out liking the film a lot more than I thought I would. But it was still, I could still understand why people wouldn't like it. Arlo, voiced by Raymond Ochoa, is a young dinosaur looking to make his mark in his family, but can't seem to do anything right. But after chasing a human child stealing family food, he falls into a river and gets lost. Knowing that the river leads back to his home, he tries to follow it, but he runs into all sorts of trouble that keep him from getting home. And what makes things worse is that he is traveling with that very human stealing his food. I really do understand the disgust that people have with this movie. It's without a doubt one of Pixar's lesser movies, but I don't know if all that criticism given to this movie is completely called for. I mean, I've heard some pretty demeaning things said about this film. One up this movie has is that it's definitely the best animated out of all of them. Wow, this was beautiful. The grass looks real, the water looks real, the rocks look real. Practically everything in the animation is fantastic, except the characters. To see these cartoon-like characters in a movie really subtracts from the animation, and it's kind of distracting. I'm not saying that it would be better if they looked realistic, but these character designs are way too simplistic. It would have looked much better if they added more of a realistic design to them, but still made them look cartoonish enough to hold their own. Instead, it looks goofy. A much better character design could have fixed this. Speaking of characters, they aren't too bad, and I was slightly invested with Arlo and the human dubbed Spot. But the things that did bother me were pretty obvious. How the hell does this universe work? You have characters that are knowledgeable and can communicate with other creatures, and even farm food. So why the hell are talking characters threatened to eat other talking animals? Wouldn't that be cannibalistic? I know they aren't the same species, but wouldn't there be any repercussions for something like that? How come T-Rexes are the good guys and these purple hippie things are evil? The movie really never sets up the communities to where they are understandable. So when they encounter a character that eats meat, it seems confusing what is for survival or is just being a villain. Also, suddenly they're Western characters. There are Western characters in this movie. This movie is so confused in what it wants to be, dark, light, or both. The characters seem to be in extreme levels of kind side characters or mustache twirling villains. The humor is noted as one of the most awful points of this movie. Here we have cute characters in a realistic world where they have to watch 3 pterodactyls tear apart another cute creature. 'Cause it's funny, right? The humor is extremely mean-spirited, especially for something by Pixar. Usually this humor would work in something aimed for older audiences, but even so, it comes off as more scary than funny. One moment of the film had a trippy hallucination of all things, because if there's anything a children's film needs, it's trippy hallucinations. It's the scariest thing I've seen for Pixar. Hell, it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen, period. I have no idea why it's there at all. The humor really fails and falls flat in this movie. Of all the negative things in this film, it at least still felt like it had an alright story. It's touching in the way where at least you can connect with the main characters and understand them. I do want to see Arlo make it back home, but at the same time, I feel like his journey is diminished by how lighthearted and dark-hearted it is. Most of the problems are really distracting, but it didn't interrupt my connection with the main characters, so I'm at least going to give this film a C+. I don't know if I would really recommend this film at all, but if you're interested in watching a story about a dinosaur playing with a kid that can't speak, this is probably the movie for you.